Hello everyone and welcome to episode 51 of Horizon Zero Dawn. In the last episode, we entered the Project Zero Dawn facility, or Zero Dawn the project facility. We entered the Project Zero Dawn project facility. We listened to the bad news and the good news. And I'm pretty sure we also missed a data point somewhere. Just looking on the compass. That is glass. Let's see here. Data points anywhere? No? Huh. Okay then. I like how it's due west. Oh, aha! Aha! Off the radar.
Look, let's cut the mystery. You're building a colony ship. It's obvious. And it's not gonna fly. I mean, literally.
Wait, what? PhD Aerospace Engineering.
Look, let's cut the mystery. You're building a colony ship. It's obvious. And it's not gonna fly. I mean, literally. Remember the Odyssey? That multinational heap of space junk that's been in graveyard orbit since '57? That went nowhere real slow. And you have to get somewhere real fast. Do you have any idea the immensity of the challenge to prep a new colony ship in time?
To be clear, I'm not a worker on the project.
Do you even understand how few people it could save? The whole generation ship concept is not gonna happen. It's the first thing you'd abandon in favor of embryonics. For that kind of storage, we're talking a lot of bulk, a lot of power, a lot of resources. So even if you do it, even if you build it and point it at Sirius X, there's no room for people on that thing, all right?
If you could try to remain calm.
You people are crazy if you think you're getting off this rock. No one's getting off.
Medical!
That's a new data point. Right, so make your selection. You are now in possession of information regarding the true nature and purpose of Project Zero Dawn, classified far above top secret. As such, we regret that you cannot be allowed to leave this facility. There are 3 options available to you at this point. Please consider each carefully. Trained counselors are standing by to assist you in making your choice. 1. Participation. You will be assigned to a sub-project team based on your area of expertise. You should be aware that the way forward will be difficult and the project's outcome is uncertain. You will be expected to work a minimum of 80 hours per week. Your communications with family members will be strictly limited and monitored in real time. Upon successful completion of the project, you and your immediate family, or 2 persons of your choosing, will be transferred to the Elysium sealed habitats to live up the remainder of your natural lives. 2. Indefinite detention. Should you choose to decline participation in Project Zero, you will be confined indefinitely. You'll be given 48 hours after a decision to refuse participation will be considered revocable. Every reasonable effort is to make sure to make your term of confinement as comfortable as possible, but you will not be permitted contact with the outside world and to death within 18 months due to the Pharaoh plague is inevitable. When the Zero Dawn facility is abandoned, the detainees who wish not to opt for medical euthanasia will be released. Option 3. Medical euthanasia. The information you have just received understandably calls into question the purpose of continuing to live. If you prefer to end your life at this point, pain-free medical euthanasia is available. A 48-hour waiting period is required, during which time you may instead opt for participation or confinement. Please notify a counselor when you are ready to make a choice, or if you have. Counselor Guidelines 2. It is vitally important that candidates choose to participate in Project Zero Dawn voluntarily and knowingly, without additional coercion and without value judgment on the part of the counselor. Confirm for candidates that they were selected due to their skill sets and accomplishments. Emphasize that their dedicated participation in Zero Dawn will increase the project's chance of success. Frame participation in Zero Dawn as an opportunity to respond actively in the face of an overwhelming threat. Candidates may question the fairness of their selection. Validate such objections as normal, even admirable responses. Emphasize the value of candidates' expertise to the future of humanity, but to Please. Candidates may balk at the morality of extending their lifespans and those of loved ones beyond 0 day. Validates their hesitation. Acknowledge that while the reward of Elysium is not fair, it will be earned. If possible, redirect their ethical misgivings toward commitment to the project. When candidates challenge the plausibility of Project Zero Dawn, permit them to review Dr. Sobek's presentation as many times as they wish, and allow for supplemental articles G01, P2, and P20. Allow them to suspend the interview to fully process this documentation. A significant minority of candidates will elect for medical euthanasia. To review the decision kindly and with the judgment. Advise them of a 48-hour waiting period during which a counselor will be available to discuss the decision. Emphasize that euthanasia will not occur without repeated consent when their procedures are scheduled to take place. No one will be euthanized against his her or his will. Candidates who elect indefinite detention must be informed that they have 48 hours to revert their decision after the decision data corrupted.
Of course I'll do it. To be given the opportunity to rebuild what the damage that I don't feel worthy of it, but I will do it, absolutely.
I want to stress that this was never about your culpability.
It is to me. Dr. Sobek, Margot, they were smart to get out of Pharaoh when they did, but not one of us took it as a warning sign. It just told ourselves that we're cut out for the BTRI cabals. That's the better than rapid innovation. Better at competing, better than the next guy, a better killing machine. Isn't it just amazing how a century and a half of science fiction did nothing to swerve our species from the path of doom? I mean, I'm done with that life. I mean, I will work hard, twice as hard to earn this, for my family to have a place in Elysium. I never thought that there could be, atonement.
See to make sure I behave this time?
Security, for your protection. Would you like to discuss how you're feeling?
Sure. I'll tell you.
surprised. No, flabbergasted. Like my own man would say, flabbergasted. That vein pumping in his forehead. I thought you people were just completely underprepared for a spaceflight project. But now I can see it's worse. Much worse. Sobek is a total fantasist, a dangerous fantasist. He's kind of blue skying. It's... Jesus. I'm sorry we wasted each other's time. I'm ready to leave now.
I'm afraid that's not possible.
Everything you're talking about here isn't possible.
I recommend you read the documents regarding your options.
I've seen enough. I'm getting out of here. What did you... You don't... Get your hands off me!
If you're still nauseous.
No, the inhibitors have kicked in. I can't feel the back of my tongue. I wish I could tell you I'd believe in this. But the damage is too great, too extensive, too complete. With all respect to Dr. Sobek's work at Miriam, no. No, life doesn't always find a way to keep going. Sometimes it never comes back. Like Syzygy East. Like the Congo. Like Timor. Like us. That's our reward? A buried city full of terminal patients waiting out the clock?
You grow old together with your loved ones in safety.
I don't have loved ones. I suppose I could start a family?
I'm afraid not. All inhabitants of Elysium will be medically sterilized. A habitat capable of sustaining a starting base of 2,000 individuals for up to 100 years is a huge challenge, Dr. Albert. If the population grows instead of diminishes, everyone will be dead inside 30 years.
I knew it. I just couldn't bring myself to say the words.
I'm sorry.
Finish it. Medical euthanasia. I want no part of this. I just want it over.
I see. Protocols require a 48-hour waiting period, after which...
Yeah. Kind of makes you wonder what we would actually go through, what we would actually do, if it meant saving life on Earth. Okay, there's going to be fighting in this room.
Intruder! Get her!
Whatever you do, don't die now.
Power's down.
Is there another route?
I've done this before. Just need my focus.
Fire striker.
I'd have to ditch something.
Now, those lame FBI black hats at Mockingbird back in the day. I enjoyed schooling them. But maybe I went in too hard on this poor counselor. She was cute, and just going down a checklist after all. Couldn't expect her to see how ridiculous Zero D's ambitions are. God's own budget thrown at a kid playing with a hologram sculptor? Palms up, honey. I'm just calling it like it is. Hey, look, Mom, I'm making nature. Now, if nature is so important, why not let nature take its course? Extinction? That's natural. Zero Dawn? No, ma'am, that ain't. Heck, it's so unnatural to be called an abomination back home, and you know it. That's why you're hiding it. Meanwhile, my little honey of a counselor, she's munching the inside of her cheek. Bad habit. She chewed one of her nails, too, just one. Not your day, was it, little sweetie? Saw her quota slipping away. Said, I assume you intend to decline the assignment, Mr. Tate. You kidding me? 18 months hard labor in exchange for 30 years lounging around Elysium watching porn? Sign me up.
So some people weren't. I see.
Zero Dawn. It is art, in a way. An expression on the grandest scale. But there is so much unfairness. Why was I chosen? Was it decided by committee? By algorithm? My family will be saved because I happen to graduate in art history? Is this right?
Dr. Sauvé? Christina Sauvé?
Yes. I met a man, another historian. His fields are Bauhaus and the New Materialists. But he once attended one of my talks. Another unfair chance. Of all the many people in that auditorium, that we should both be here now. And yet, I feel more accepting of my fate. No, it is not fair. Not at all. But for the sake of my family, for the sake of art. Art is alive. It must be able to speak from beyond history and echo in the future, not perish into oblivion. This opportunity, I must do this.
Here we go. Another one of these. Need to find the right configuration. There's a part missing. Maybe there's a storage area nearby.
Hey, I'm done with Brett's incompetence, okay? Somehow, he managed to install an H-emitter node backwards. Everything's in reverse. I don't get paid to clean up Brett's messes. If you want it fixed, send him up to storage for a new emitter, not me. Parker out.
Left, up, left, down, left. Right, down, right.
Done. I should check the door nearby.
Okay.
Full already.
Don't like not having me be able to pick up more potions.
Found one. Looks intact.
What's the emitter look like? Huh. A key component of a mid-21st century military holoblock.
That should do the trick. Now let's get that door open.
Error detected. Settings transposed. It's upside down. So it's down, left, up, right, down. It's up, right, down. Down, left, up. Right. Down.
That did it. Door should have power.
Now to see what lies beyond it.
Here we go. We're really navigating the depths of this facility.
Eclipse. They're here.
Avoid contact.
Lines look good.
Gaia. It's up there. Second floor.
Can you reach it?
So much for avoiding contact.
Let's just find her so we can...
Spotted.
Accessible. Elevators non-operational. Stairwells have collapsed.
Like how the it detects that.
Fall before the shadow!
I don't wanna.
That's the last one.
Maintenance structural failure. Repeat.
Or not.
Unskilled. Level 40.
Room's clear. For a moment.
That's the way back there. Lots of resource supply boxes. Oh wow.
Save this for later.
That's a fast way to put down your gun.
Alert. Structural failure prevents access.
Does it now? Need to go that way. Oh.
My turn.
Hello, I'm Margot Shen, and this is Hephaestus. As the name might tip you off, this is going to be the subordinate function that Gaia will use to make lots and lots of robots. Her personal forge. Except, it's not that simple. So like, You probably noticed that only about a third of you are robotics engineers. The rest, experts in machine cognition, virtual heuristics, that stuff. Well, that's because we aren't going to be the ones designing and building robots. The last thing we want is to burden Gaia with a bunch of outmoded 21st century designs. A waste of time. Our purpose is to empower Gaia to build the robots, and not just build, imagine, from scratch. Any robot she needs for any conceivable purpose, designed and fabricated at a snap of a finger. Hers. Her finger. So, Hephaestus isn't really the forge. It's more like the knowledge of craft and ingenuity of a mastersmith to wield the hammer. Encoded as software. Virtual creativity made real. Gaia's already learning. In simulation, she's doing some very creative things with fractal assembly and animal morphologies. Her designs aren't about to win the Liam Prize anytime soon, but hey, everyone has to start somewhere. So, yes, time to get started. Let's do this.
I don't get it.
Which part? It's a little technical at places.
If Gaia was designed to save life, why would the robots it makes attack people?
Perhaps it loves some forms of life more than others.
The derangement. The machines weren't always so angry.
True. Mostly they were docile until 10, 15 years ago.
For years, Hephaestus has been forcing cauldrons to make aggressive machines. I've seen it myself, in the cauldrons. Stalkers, Ravagers, a Thunderjaw. How could it do that? And why?
Why indeed?
Yeah. Also, this seemed familiar? This look familiar at all? Does that help? Yeah. Do a hollow projector. Full steam ahead. From Elizabeth Sobek. To Margot Shen. Margot, if I doubted your brilliance, I would have Hephaestus. You need to stop worrying about your age and communication. You know, have confidence in yourself. You know what you're doing. Case in point. The latest strap silos to restore raw materials is excellent. This, combined with your design for the AM Foundry Core and the Foundry Site Selection Plan, had a comprehensive plan. It's time to start construction. D. Consult with Iomide or Kilo before you finalize the sample inventories. This first task will be to fabricate the robots that will construct the waveform broadcast towers Minerva will use to transmit the deactivation codes. So many exotic materials needed for the towers should be for in the inventory plan.
I've seen these shapes before. In cauldrons.
But of course, the birthing places of Gaia's machines.
Yes, I know, but the Ridgewoods is worthless. Yeah, like, look at these things. And I love how the circuitry is still a part of this, and it still glows. I love it. I really love it. Now we're on the second floor. scan that up in here. But timer's gone up, so I'm gonna end this episode here. So, wait, just going to wait for the blue lines. Darn it, just missed them. Alright, gonna jump down and see. Come on, blue lines. Come on, there you are. Oh. Well, here we go. So that was episode 51. And I'm Flame Tusk. Have a good one.